Hello, Dental Team listeners. This is Kiera, and this is part 2 of Dr. Andrew and Jeff talking about they already went through their expansion, what they did, and now I really wanted to get into the nitty-gritty of what makes Andrew so incredible as a doctor and what makes Jeff an incredible leader in his practice to get the growth and the success that they've been able to have. And I'm so excited for you to experience it. And as always, thanks for listening. I'll catch you next time on the Dental Team podcast. Andrew, can you walk us through what do you feel are some of the things you do so superior? Like, I want you to brag a little bit. This is a moment where Kiera Dent is so freaking proud of you. Tiff is proud of you. Our company is proud of you. Because I think other people want to know how to do this. So I almost want to like peel back the curtain just a little bit on what are some of the things you do really well and exceptionally. Like I said, Jeff, chime in too. Then we're going to reverse. We're going to talk about Jeff, and Andrew, you can chime in on him. So like both of you can just smooch each other tonight as well. You guys are going to have an amazing night post podcast. You're welcome. All right.
Yeah,
but truly, Andrew, what are some of the things you feel set apart?
That leads into I was going to say, like, I feel really lucky to have Jeff, obviously. And I know not everybody has a Jeff or can trust someone as much as I trust Jeff. But I think, obviously, it can be very hard on our marriage. So that's one side note. And I know, like, a lot of couples that happens. But I think I feel
so
always...
10 years in and you still...
I know.
Which is amazing.
2 years ago, I was worried.
And in gay years, that's like 40.
Just
kidding. Everybody is. You're like, okay. But it's one of those things also, though, I will say, like, throwing it out to couples, when couples go through what you have gone through and you're able to, like, be through the thick and the thin of it, I will also give advice. Like, when I watch people go through dental school, and Andrew, I'm sure you saw this, I was so angry at so many of our, like, friends that went through, like, they went through the residencies, they got to the end, and I'm like, you freaking made it, and that's when they get divorced. And I'm like, well, if you're going to get divorced during the hard times.
Right.
But like, you have made it. You've made it. And now it's like just a matter of like, we bonded together, we grew together. And I think like making sure that stays a priority in your marriage. You guys remember I was a marriage and family therapist prior to this. Like that was my thing. I'm like, don't give up on what you went through the freaking hardest years together.
Right, yeah.
Now it's like, enjoy this amazing life we built together. Right. And don't lose sight of how grateful we are for one another. So anyway, like off my tangent.
No, that one. So I guess that's part of, like, that's kind of part of I have to always remind myself I need to be very appreciative for everyone around me. So that's probably number one. And I guess that goes into like, you need to kind of check your ego, right? Like as much as everybody wants it to be all about the dentist and all about me, I'm really just the guy that does the dentistry, and I enjoy kind of being like that side note. Like I'd rather people come talk to him, right? So I think like the more you can step back and see yourself as that clinician is very beneficial, and then kind of let, again, the people around you lead and be those positive lights that they can be. That's like how you're going to grow, right? And then I think that goes along with an associate where, again, kind of being humble. Like, I know a lot, but I don't know everything. And I learn stuff as much from the associates or how they do things differently as much as they may learn from me. And I think when you come to a situation more with curiosity and, really trying to find how you can learn and be better every day, then that they only want to do the same. So you really have to lead by example, lead with curiosity, really come to work every day just trying to do better for people around you.
And I want to chime in. I think you lead from your heart too. You have a passion for people, and you have a passion for what you do, dentistry. Like you live, breathe, speak it all the time, even outside the office. You're always shut it down. Yeah. You're always seeking new things. You're always speaking with Dr. Parks about, hey, what do you think about this? Or how would you approach this, rather than this point of, hey, I do it this way, you have to do it. You do approach curiosity. And I think the frequency that he's able to, the amount of time they spend together in this, they share an actual office. So they're able to compare everything all the time. So if at any time that they're both in the office together, I could walk by, they're always talking about a case or how they could improve something, or how could we approach this, or this is funny, what should we do? It becomes this collaboration and less of a like, we're having a calibration meeting this day for this time and we're going to talk about X. It's kind of a constant.
Yeah, like I listen in on his new patient exams, he listens in on mine. And it's just a constant thing. And I think honestly, again, that was necessity that started that way. And I think at our old office, it was actually me Jeff and Dr. Parks all in a room that was really meant to be for me. And we all were crammed in there. And eventually Jeff moved because he got tired of listening to us talk about
I was going to say, that's
dentistry.
why Jeff's not in the office. He's like, I don't want to hear about this
He's
dentistry.
like, I gotta get away. Yeah, I need
have
some
fun.
space. Yeah. So that wouldn't have been a decision I probably would have made if we had all this space, right? So I think it is funny, like again, that necessity and just kind of trusting the process and learning what you can. But I'm like, I'm so grateful for those early years, and like he and I have such a bond now that we're excited for our next associate and bringing him or her into our office and making them a part of our little dorky dental group. So.
I love it. And I mean, Jeff, you're right. But if I'm going to have a dentist, I want the dentist who talks nonstop about dentistry. I know that's not probably so nice at home. Jason has an alarm on our phone for us. So Jeff, if you want to take like marriage tip from me and Jay, because I will talk about business forever. And he's like, shut it down, girl. The alarm goes off at 6:05 every night. And that's when I have to stop talking work. And it goes off like it's every single day, 6:05. I know what time. And I'm like, okay, that's my time limit. So you want to talk about like a show? Like I'm like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. So it's a really handy thing for me to have to shut it down. But Andrew, I am curious on that. I think a lot of doctors struggle. And I love how you talked about like, this isn't how I do it. Like, what do you think? And how can we do this? I'm curious. So let's say you saw of a future associate. We'll use Dr. Parks right now because that's one you won't know the future one's personality. But let's say you see dentistry that's not up to your standard with Dr. Parks. How do you go and have that conversation with him to where he feels supported, but at the same time you don't allow your culture, your brand, the type of dentistry to go out the door without having like people don't know how to have this conversation because you're both dentists. So how do you handle that with Dr. Parks?
Yeah, so I think kind of bring it back to like what he's doing it for, right? So it's not about me seeing a problem, but it's like, hey, here's how this could maybe be a better outcome for your patient, right? Or I would like argue, I would like to kind of always spin and make myself an example, like, hey, I used to do it this way, right? Like, or I used to do something different, but my old mentor, who I love and admire, like, she helped show me the way, right? And I've really learned a lot from her. So I think that's also where, like, for our future associate, we need to make sure that that is a key component of their culture is to be open and constantly learning and be curious. And I think that is definitely a big goal of ours is to find that in the next person. And that's where we also feel very lucky with our associate. We know that that's not very easy to find an associate and kind of have that success with it. So again, as much as I'm appreciative for Jeff, I'm very appreciative for Dr. Parks too. And I think it shows in our relationship as well. So
yeah. Well, and I think like also though, when you've built a practice to your size, you normally now get to be choosy and picky. I feel like when you're like a little bit smaller, it's kind of like, well, I gotta like hope someone wants to come work in this like amazing brown, purple, green
yeah.
and share an office with me, my husband, and you get to be in here too, like Harry Potter corners all the way around. But now you get to be even more choosy on who comes forward because you've got this amazing space. You've got the place where someone wants to come. And I think that's going to be really awesome to watch you grow on that next one. So thank you for that. Jeff, I want to pivot to you. I watched your leadership. I watched you grow. I watched you run a team. I watched you go from Gilbert to Jeff. I watched you sit in meetings. It was so fun to see you in person again. It's been far too long for me. It was pre-COVID since the last time I saw you. And we met in person and I watch you. You sit there with this inquisitive mind. You sit there with this, you've got a depth of knowledge that's just impressive to me. And also I've watched you grow in your leadership. I've seen you, I talked to Tiffany and you're in your community in leadership courses, you're doing pieces. I just want to know, and Andrew, this is now where you're going to like love on Jeff on this of how have you gone from where you were to where you are today? Like, I know there's a whole process and I know that's very broad, but just even thinking of some of the strokes that you've taken. I know you and Tiff have worked super hard. I'm going to give like mad kudos to Tiffany and I'm sure you will too. But I'm just curious because I think leadership is so elusive for so many people. And yet I've watched you like take this, own this, but you're also a baller. Like, you don't get run over. You have hard conversations. You speak up. You're very brilliant in what you do. Andrew, I agree. Jeff's a machine. I watch him. He's like, all right, got my list. I got all these things. I'm going home. Andrew, this is what we're going to do. Jeff, you think Andrew's running the show, but I know that who's really running it is you. Like, you're like, all right, this is getting done. We're getting all this done. This is where the lights are going. Everybody moving on this day. But you do it with poise and grace. And so I'm just curious, like, tips for people who maybe are trying to evolve in their leadership, things that you've done to be truly, I think you're a huge example of a successful leader. And so it's okay. This is your brag moment. I know it can be awkward, but I really am just so proud of you and excited to hear what you think has been part of that evolution of you.
Well, the first thank you. That's like I want to cry right now. Thank you. You don't often hear that. So thanks for that. Honestly,
I feel too.
I had a little experience in my past career about it was an industry that's offshore. So it's a difficult industry for me personally to enter into, with these rough, greasy, I'm not scared of dirt. Obviously, it was geology, but, you know, a lot of people aren't socially aware who might be working with them, so being gay in an industry like that's nobody's like, oh, did I offend somebody by what I said? That's, you know what I mean? So that's, you kind of get a little bit of a tough skin there, right? So I've had experience with that. I've had experience managing projects offshore. I've had experience managing projects onshore, and I grew up in a family that my parents are business owners, and I was put to work for not a legal pay at a very young age. So I just learned, like, I've got to work to do this stuff. So then, fast forward to meeting you guys when I was unhappy, I was like, what am I going to do? Right. So you guys, Tiffany, the collaboration, the tools, the building blocks, the confidence, the empowerment that you were like, you can do it. And you're the only one that is, right? So that led me on it. And then we went into the catalyst of showing up to that office that day with a different vibe, and then seeing that it works. So then I think naturally we moved to this county from a very different county in Florida that a lot population was very different, and we're in a very different population here. So we did have some fear coming in. So we were cautious about, how we represented ourselves if we made a big splash. And then as we realized the momentum of the practice and the service of what we were doing, it was gaining momentum, and people came to us for our service and our dentistry. So then that gave us confidence to be like, okay, this is what people want. And I think part of my mindset in creating, the vision and how the business that we want is thinking about past jobs and what did Andrew not like about, how he was treated by previous employers, or how he had to follow a protocol to do this to the patient. And we realized I kind of just have a challenging mentality. Like, why? Like, can we do it different? Should we do it different? Yeah, we probably should, because that's what everybody wants, right? So then we started to see those little pieces gain success, and the community be like, we're going to them because they do that different. Differently. Thank you. We call them by name, something as simple as that, it's right. Like, wow, that's a big difference. So then I think I'd encourage people to start looking in their area. I didn't realize the opportunities that our county and had around us, right? So I started to take advantage of that. I went to the chamber. We joined the chamber. And then that led me to an opportunity for Leadership Catawba. We live in Catawba County. I was like, let me try this. It was, a small time investment in the big picture. And that introduced me to people in our area that I was like, oh, I can lean on you now, and I can use you as a resource. How can we work together? Then I was just learned so much about our county and the riches of it, like what sets this county apart. And I was like, I love that. That's what we try to do in our business. So then, as you learn about your surroundings and how the local government works, you can start to make those contacts and start to go to those people, and then you become a source to them as well. So in that, I learned about other opportunities. I took an HR class at our community college. I was like, I should probably know some legit HR stuff, right? Before we build this giant dental practice. So that led me to the community college, which the HR class was in the furniture academy. So that led me to a relationship. We're in a big furniture area where they were custom building, as they were teaching students, creating furniture for a dental practice. So that opened up a community door. Then we started with the building. The whole purpose of buying building bigger than we need it is, so we can put that vision forward and create a big collaborative space. But in doing so, within our own space, we did create a large conference room, a little kind of event space that we've welcomed Hickory Football Club in. There are soccer team. We've had Girl Scouts in. We've had other nonprofits in. So it's kind of become a space that we can host and collaborate with the community and welcome them into our space.
I kind of love that. I think it's been the curiosity and kind of just little incremental, like, cool, this sounds cool, I'm going to do this. And then that leads to so much. And we were even just saying, like, the whole, like, our building is so big, like, we have an area that we actually offer, like, a nonprofit in the area to come. They were losing their space, and they came here. And it's led to, so now I feel so fulfilled that I'm helping someone in a way that's not dentistry, which I never thought I would do. So, and so it just feels good to, like, give in that way that we never imagined. And it's led to so much more. So I think that curiosity has led to that. But that's where with Jeff, like, he really is, like, so amazing at being good, he's living that example, right? Like, he's going to be here every day. He's going to be put in the work. He's going to do all these things. And he's inspired. Now that he did the leadership, we've sent one of our other staff member or team members, and then we've got a third one that's about to go to leadership Catawba. So it's just kind of led to a lot of inspiration for the people around us. And I think that the more you can kind of be there for others and let others kind of lean on you, it just really is like that sense of community is there. And I think that's where too, you kind of start realizing you're not there for everyone, and everyone's not going to love me as a dentist, but there'll be enough, right?
But
like,
we're
there's
true
enough people,
to ourselves
and
and authentic, and we feel good about what we're doing. And we know we're raising people up, and it's raising us up too. So, and I think it's really important to provide opportunities, like learning opportunities outside the practice, because that's where connections really get made.
I agree with you, Andrew. What I was hearing, I'm like, I always am listening for, like, what's the pattern? What's the silver lining? Like, what really sets you apart? And I think, Jeff, it was truly hearing the curiosity and also the drive to be the best. Like, I should go learn HR. Like, this is a zone I'm gapped in. And instead of it being like, well, let's just, like, find some for it. You're like, no, I'm going to go learn. I'm going to hunker in. Then I'm going to figure out how I need to delegate this out. And I have a sign over here from Gandhi that we've given our leaders this year. And it's, a sign of a good leader is not how many followers you have, but how many leaders you create. And I think, Jeff, that's something you're doing really incredibly well, of creating more leaders around you and rising more people up around you. And Andrew, the same thing for you. You're rising these doctors up around you. You're bringing your team up with you. And I think it's so beautiful to see. So I'm just really proud of both of you. And it's like, it's just such a fun thing to be able to give back to both of you and to just highlight how many amazing things you have. My last question for us tonight as we're wrapping up is, what's next? Like, what's next on the radar? Like, business-wise, personal-wise, like, we built this, we had this vision, but I believe, like, if we stop dreaming and we stop evolving, then we stop growing as well. It does not have to be large, Andrew. You don't have to have, like, a huge next, like, we're building a city. I could see you coming up to that big. All right, Jeff, we're gonna, like, build our own city now. But, like, what's next? Like, what's in the next, like, 1, 2, 5 years? What's it looking like for your practice, for each other? Where are you guys at? And I'll let anybody take this on. What's next for you guys?
Yeah, well, I think I did want to say one more thing about inspiring leaders, because I know we were talking about associates. But another thing that I have to always bring up is my mom was a single mom, 4 kids, because you were talking about our parents earlier. And so single mom, 4 kids. She was also a dental assistant. So I think I grew up around dentistry. I grew up with a mom that wasn't making a lot of money for what she did. So I appreciate so much our team and my assistants. I don't leave a room without thanking them for what they did in front of the patient. Like that. So that's probably the most important thing I've taught our associate is to always be thankful for the people that are helping you do what you do. Right. So I think living every day and coming into work with that mentality is super helpful. So I want to keep that.
I love that. And I'm also going to say, Jeff, you had no hope. When you met Andrew, there was no hope for you to get out of dentistry. Like, mom, family, his life. Like, if you were destined for dentistry when you and Andrew met. So I love that. I'm like, wow. Now hearing your mom, I was like, oh, he saw you from a mile away. Not only did he, like, fall in love with you, but he's like, oh,
I
just
need that.
coming to dentistry. He needs his life to be changed forever.
So I think my next goal will be to help us find a new associate. So our Dr. Parks and I both are super busy now. We're both feeling like, gosh, it would be really nice to be able to take some time off and not feel like we're putting the other one in our tough pickle, So we also have a lot of great things to teach our next associate. And I think what used to scare our team is to think about that growth. And now our team feels empowered to be like, we're not so sure about that person. They speak up and they're our guardian. So I think what's really cool is like, I've kind of let some of this go, and now I get to really focus on my dentistry and learning more and what can I improve? What do we want to bring into the office to offer more patients, or how can we be better, every day? So
it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, that's what's on for Andrew. Jeff, what about for you? What's next for in Jeff's world?
A vacation in 2 weeks.
Yeah, where do you want to go?
We got one planned. We do.
Yeah.
It's our
first 2-week vacation ever in my life. I'm really nervous. Yeah.
Like, be so excited. You should listen to all the other podcasts. I'm always like, because if you don't leave, you can't find the gaps in your practice. So, like, this is the best thing to do. So, don't freak out, Andrew. Just realize you're doing your business the best service. You're leaving. You can see the gaps. You can fix them.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I justify it. I'm like, no, the business needs me to leave.
Yeah. I do that. And I will say, I feel excited now because I can see people knowing that we're leaving. Everybody's making sure they're looking ahead at the schedule. They're making sure I get people in that I want to see, making sure everything's going to be okay. And it's just awesome. I used to stress so much about, taking a day off. And then now to know, like, we're about to take 2 weeks off. It's really amazing.
It's amazing. Okay. Well, I think that's good. Jeff's like, we need this. I need this.
I wouldn't have done it without him. That's another big thing, right? So he's pushed me. I'm like, Jeff, are we okay to do this? Like, that's another thing. I probably would not have stepped away. And I know I need to, right? So you kind of need those people to help kind of make you see the other side and say, okay, we're okay. And we do need it. And everyone has told me that. Like, I know you're thinking you don't need it or that you are going to stress out, but you're going to come back so invigorated and so excited. So
I always tell everybody the best things I do for my business are when I do what I call white noise time, and I check out. What I do, Andrew and Jeff, you guys might take my tip. I literally don't turn my phone on at all. So like no one can connect me. If I go out of the country, I do not connect to Wi-Fi. It's a smidge creepy for my family. So like Jason, you just check it on. Like always. And then I get angry for about 2 days because I'm like detoxing of having like everything. And I'm like mad at Jason. I feel like I'm putting time out. I feel so angry that I've just got to sit here and read a stupid book. And then once the like adrenaline's gone, I'm like, oh. And then my best ideas actually show up.
Weird.
So for better or for worse, get ready, Jeff. He'll probably come home with like a million ideas. And you should probably have alarms that like you're only allowed to talk dentistry for like 1 hour a day. Like that's it. Because of course it'll like come up. But it's also shocking when I did that last summer, Jason and I, we took a whole month off and I'm like, I don't actually know what to talk to you about if we don't talk dentistry. So I had to like refine our relationship of like, what do we do beyond dentistry? This is helpful. So anyway, okay, going on a 2-week trip, where are you going?
We're going to Sweden.
I'm so happy for you. Okay, this will be amazing. Yeah, totally. Just leave your phone off. Do that like emergency signal. So if like you really need something, they can find you. But yeah, like no connection. You guys are just connected. But don't worry, there's probably gonna be 2 days where you hate each other. Like just fair warning.
Be prepared. Yeah.
Be prepared. I'm like a monster. I'm like, good thing we like planned a week so I could like get into the rhythm of this still. So okay. Vacation, what else?
So I think there's something we want to do internally that we've been kind of mulling over and kind of taking a couple steps to. We brought somebody on that I think we can actually elevate and help create this. So it's a younger team member, and he's got really good skills with the lane that we want him to go down. So we kind of want to empower him to build this, not for us, but with us, and kind of create this position for himself, and kind of, it would be job sustainability, and have him elevate him to build a team under him as well.
Totally.
At the same time, we need to fill the rest of our building. We're working with some nonprofits. We brought one in. We have 2 more suites to go. And so I want to continue that and make sure, one thing that we're not like putting for lease signs out there. We want to make sure that, serves our vision and serves the community, the people that come in. And we were also, we have our old building to create something. So I don't know. There's a lot.
It's
I see a
amazing.
lot in the future. All
I do
good things.
too.
Lots
I
of
do too.
dreamings
First, a
needed.
vacation.
This is where you need the vacation, Andrew and Jeff. So you like shut it down.
That's
All the
it.
but I mean, my best idea. The podcast literally came when I was hiking half Dome Yosemite. Like I'm not even talking about work, and I was like, "This is a great idea. I should
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that." So
Yeah.
here we are, like 5 years
Nice.
Yeah.
later.
They're
Wow.
kind of like
But
just waiting, and I think you're right. I think this little white noise period could just be like, oh, there they all are.
Right. I totally
it
agree.
really happens. It's weird, and I feel like as owners, we are in such a grind. Like we don't know how to shut it off, but when we do, I'm like, that's when the best ideas show up. Like best ideas hit us in, like when we wake up in the morning, or when we're in the shower, or when we're on a run, or when we're on a hike, or and I'm like, okay, so clearly I need to schedule more of that in consistently, so that way my best ideas can show up and we can keep evolving. But guys, you should be so proud of yourself. Like, go enjoy that vacation. I'm so excited for you to go to Sweden.
Thank you.
Like,
I'm so excited.
send back the chocolate, please. I mean,
Yes.
I think it's amazing. But no, just as someone who's watched you evolve, I hope you guys just take in like the kudos. I hope everybody listening, you're hearing like how they went through this, how they built their vision. And the thing I think I really gleaned from today's podcast are one, you two really lean on each other as a very safe duo of you two trust each other. You're in your lanes. You allow each other to be experts. You allow the like nerdiness of either side to come out, and you love that about the other person. Also like really being true to yourselves, to your vision, and building an entire team around you. I think so many people are scared to be themselves. And Jeff, thank you for sharing. Like, agreed, being gay, being different, having a different, maybe, especially with the town you're in, I think that that was probably a big step and leap for you. But to stay true to who you are, and you'll find that you will attract your tribe. You'll attract in the people that want to be a part of it, and not being afraid to share that. So I'm just so proud of you guys. I am so grateful you came on. It was so fun to highlight you, to share about you. Are there any last things you guys want to leave as we wrap up today? I'll start with Jeff first. Last thoughts, anything you want to add to today?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that you, Dental A team, and Tiffany are really recognize, like, understand your value, because at every step of the way, you guys were always there for us. I could pick up the phone, Tiffany will pick it, she'll answer. It could be about plumbing, it could be about team, it could be about operations. You guys are always there for us consistently, every step of the way. If you don't have an answer, we brainstorm and we are like, okay, or you'll find it. It's I couldn't thank you guys enough. You did. I tell you every time, but it's true. You guys changed my life, both of our lives, honestly, for the better. And we wouldn't be here today if we didn't have your encouragement, your support, and your backing behind us this whole time. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Kiera. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Dental A team.
Yes. Thank
Jeff,
you,
thank
Tiffany.
you.
Thank you both for everything. Dental A team. We were like so like appreciative for you guys, Kiera. Like I remember we were talking about earlier, seeing you on the plane, giving you the brownie brittle, and I think I go back to like our first couple meetings, and I think you guys were like the first. No, you were the first that helped us not just see like when we were doing like team meetings about dentistry. It also was how does this relate to your personal lives? Mm-hmm. And I think that's where that could have been the switch you were asking about earlier. So sorry it took me this long to realize that's what it was. That was the switch, because it went from like what can I teach you about dentistry to like how can we all just live better lives? How can we come to work and be happy? Can you go home and use what you're learning here with your house? And I think every time Tiffany comes in, we talk sometimes more about personal things going on at home and how this relates to work. And it's really just made that our culture. And I think whether it's me and my weight loss, that's something too. I lost 90 pounds 3 years or 4 years ago now.
Right.
And
You look amazing.
and
And
that's
amazing.
thank you. And that's kind of led to like we did a whole weight loss program with our whole staff. Like we learned nutrition, and like we made things not about just dentistry, but like how we all can just live better lives. And I think that's really what's kind of just blown us up. So thank you so much for all of that.
Well, proud mama over here, and just huge like thank you, because to hear clients, to hear people that we didn't know prior to dentistry, like dentistry is our platform, life's our passion, and to hear that you're thriving, that you are these amazing humans that are fulfilled. That is what we want. We don't want just dentistry. Like I said, dentistry is our platform, life is our passion. And so, and like Andrew, I saw you today, I was like, oh my gosh, you look like so great. And Jeff, you just look vibrant, and you've gone through so many pieces, and yet you're still smiling, you're still happy, you still, like you said, it's life. this is what it is, and we just get lucky enough to find each other through dentistry. So thank you for being a part of our family. Tiff's been incredible, and I'm just excited for like the next level and to continue to watch you guys flourish. Like I said, my biggest passion is making the best people have the best lives and truly win. So thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate both of you. Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. And for all of you listening, I hope you were inspired today by Jeff and Andrew. They're people that have inspired me, and I hope you saw yourself through the writing and the fabric of their story to see the things that are possible, from Jeff not feeling like he even knew how to be into dentistry to running this huge practice and inspiring people, to Andrew growing and evolving and bringing on things that he never thought were possible. I hope all of you see the potential within yourselves, and I'd love to be a part of your story and your journey. So reach out, hello@thedentalingteam.com. And as always, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time on the Dentaling Team Podcast.
Thank you.